Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jim. We have our next load going from Pennsylvania, Philadelphia to be specific, or even more specific than that, the Philadelphia port to Tucker, Georgia. It's a paper roll. It's a load of paper, and I think probably paper rolls based on my dispatcher's description of it. So we're about to head on out. We just finished up our previous load here. We were in, it took them about almost 3 hours to get us in and out of here, but you know, the first hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes was just waiting on getting a door assignment. So we're done with that. We're heading out. It's about an hour and a half drive to get to our pickup. We've only got 3 hours and a half roughly on our drive clock. So depending on how long it takes them to get us loaded, we may have some trouble finding a place to park tonight coming out of Philly. We'll see. But let's get moving because it is 11 o'clock now, and we've got an hour and a half to go to get to the shipper, and I don't want to get stuck in traffic any more than I absolutely have to. So let's go. Well, we've arrived, and of course this place requires these sexy yellow vests. Let's pull up here and get checked in, shall we? Hello. Picking up.
Got a twig card?
No, I do not.
Driver's license? What's the pickup number?
What's it start with? T or 206?
206.
77608.
Just make a U-turn.
Uh-huh.
Just take that road where those vehicles are. You just go around the building.
Okay.
There's a parking lot back there. You just fill out the green paper, give it to the guy in the white sheet.
Okay, thanks.
Good day, sir.
You too. At least this one's got a mirror around this blind corner. Can barely see anything in the mirror, but there's a mirror. I have not been to this port before. I've been to a couple other ports now, but I have not been to this one. It seems like the process is pretty much the same. Alright, time to fill out the paperwork and then we'll see what happens next. Alright. This dock ought to be easy enough. silk. Actually, I'm going to leave the engine running because it is a hot day. But I'm going to turn y'all off. While we're sitting here, we can go ahead and figure out where we're going next. It looks like there is it's a Flying J, or it's a no, it's a Flying J in Elkton, Maryland that's within reach. It's about 45.5 miles away. As of right now, it's doable. We got 2 hours and 11 minutes left on our clock. We should be able to get 45 miles. It's still only 1:30. We are not loaded yet. Now, we're locked into the dock, and the guy basically prepped the trailer and pulled out some nails that were in the floor. So I think we should be good to go to get loaded, although I'm going to go in and kind of peek in here in a minute and see why it hasn't started yet. We haven't been here very long. I think we docked. We've been here a grand total of 40 minutes, but that includes doing the paperwork that we were doing over there and coming over here and getting docked. I had never tripped the clock back into drive time. So let's figure we've been docked for probably about 20 minutes. Maybe not even that, I'm not sure. I'm just kind of sitting here killing time right at the moment and not really paying real close attention. But anyways, we've got 2 hours and, what did I said, 2 hours and 11 minutes of drive time available to us using the split sleeper. Now, we may have to use the split sleeper because we're bumping up against, yeah, we're only got 38 minutes left on our shift clock if we don't use the split sleeper. But if we do use the split sleeper, we've got 3 hours and 46 minutes left. I'm worn out. I am tired. It's 1:30 and we've been up since midnight. You know, I would not, and I didn't get a really good full night's sleep last night, but so I would not mind at all going to bed right now. But unfortunately, we're in Philly and we've got to find parking, and the best parking I can find, there's a couple of small truck stops between here and there that we can go to if we absolutely have to. But if I can get to Elkton, that would be the preferable choice. I'm not going to reserve a spot quite yet because there's still plenty of reserve spots available, and I don't know when we're going to get out of here. But we've got 3 hours and 45 minutes on our 14-hour shift clock, which was paused at the last at our delivery. So as long as they get us out of here in a timely manner, which they seem to be on top of things. There's a lot of motion going on here, trucks coming in and out, so I'm not really sure how fast they're actually working on each of these trucks, but it seems to be moving along. So as long as they get us loaded in a fairly short order, we'll get out of here and we got enough time to get to where we're going. But if they don't, then we're gonna have to figure something else out. But I'm gonna wait until we are loaded before I actually book that spot. Just because I want to make sure that we have it, because we're not going to have much time to go further if we don't. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens. Well, I was expecting a whole lot more shaking to occur. We're actually already loaded, and I didn't even realize it until I just happened to look back and saw that we had the green light. But let's go ahead and let this guy get into his spot before we start moving around. I don't want him having issues because of us. Hopefully we can get back there and close our door. Let's go find out. This is one of those situations where it may not be quite possible to close our door. Yeah, it's not. So let's go ahead and get a look at the back there. I think we'll be able to slide our tandems pretty much all the way forward and still work with it, but that's what we got. I'm going to get repositioned so that we can close our doors. Well, 20 minutes later, and we've almost made it to the interstate. And it's not because of traffic, it's because some damn cop was blocking the path. There were signs saying this way to 95, and a cop was blocking it. Don't know why. He was just sitting there. And of course, Google Maps has an alternate route for me, but it has no clue whether or not it's a truck legal route. So, and it took me to a road where I kind of had to detour, and Trucker Path is just completely freaking out, has absolutely no idea what we're doing, where we're going. It's completely confused. It's in a route recalculation loop. Every foot we drive forward, it tries to recalculate, and it has no idea what we're doing. So I think we're finally getting back to the interstate with this left turn right up here. I'm following signs that say interstate. I kind of found my way back to where we started, really, and found more signs pointing in the right direction. This time not blocked by a cop. So we should be on the interstate soon. We still got an hour and 50 on the clock, and it's only 53 minutes to the truck stop, so I think we'll be good. But I'll see you at the next stop. I honestly do not know what the hell is going on. I finally found my way on to 76 West, but both Google and Trucker Path are now trying to get me to get off of 76 West, which should go west to 81, right? It does, but it goes through the middle of Philly, which looks like it's a complete disaster right now. It is just absolutely jammed up. It's really, really, really blowing my mind. I don't know what the heck is going on right now. I'm completely lost. I'm really hating Philly. I have never had this problem with Philly before. I've never not been able to navigate here. And so I don't know what the hell is going on, but both Google and Trucker Path want me to get off at this next exit and come back in the opposite direction, 76 East. I don't know why. I am completely confused as to what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm running out of clock time, which is making matters worse. I don't know what to do right now. I'm just completely baffled as to what I should be doing right now. If I go 76 West, I know I will get where I want to go because I know it gets to I-81. But we might be in it for 3 hours the way this traffic is moving. I just don't know what to do. And both Trucker Path and Google are telling me to turn around and go the opposite direction, which is the wrong direction. And they want me to get on 95. So I don't know, and I couldn't get on 95 earlier. 95 was closed. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know. There's nobody talking on the CB. I don't have any idea what I'm supposed to be doing right now. This sucks, and this is not the kind of sucks that I can embrace. I am completely befuddled as to what I should be doing right now. And I keep trying to keep my, I'm already in violation on the default clock. I'm trying to keep my split clock from going over. We've only got an hour and a half left on the split clock, and 2 hours and 20 on the shift, and we're just blowing time right out of the water just sitting in this crap. I don't know what the freaking frackety frick to do right now, because GPSs are useless at this moment in time as far as I'm concerned. They're both trying to tell me stuff that I know to be just wrong. But at least they're both in agreement right now. I keep blowing my stupid clock. I'll let you know if I figure it out. lose my freaking mind with this stupid city. This garbage pile of a city. All I want is to get the hell out of this stupid city. I'm about to freaking cry here. I know I'm about to get back to 76. But I don't know what's waiting for me when I get there. I'm so pissed off right now. I just want out. 3 minutes. That's all we had left. 3 minutes. Oh man. I'm sorry, y'all. I absolutely lost my mind back there. Normally, I am a very calm and collected individual, very patient. I don't let a lot of stuff get to me. I do occasionally let stuff get to me, and I let that get to me. Two GPSs that were giving me terrible routing information, routing me down, narrow one-way streets with cars on both sides. I couldn't even get onto those streets to go down them, let alone use them to get where the GPS was trying to get me. Trucker path kept getting into this route recalculation loop nonsense. Again, I'm using a beta version of Trucker Path. I don't know if that's a beta bug or if that's just a bug, but I've had it. It's been bothering me. It's caused an issue a couple of times over the last week. I think it's a beta bug because normally when you go down the wrong street, it pretty quickly finds a new route, but it's not finding new routes right now for some reason. But Google Maps, of course, can't be relied on because it will take you down streets meant for cars, not legal for trucks. I did go under one bridge that had a no truck sign, but I could tell that it was high enough that I could get under it. So I just went for it because at that point I had had enough. I needed to find some way to get back to the interstate, and from all I could tell, that was the only way to get there. And even the old-fashioned way of navigating, which I'm not bad, you know, I can read a map. I know how to find my way around. I know how to figure out what's south and go that direction until you find road signs that point you in the right direction. And I was finding the road signs that pointed me in the right direction. But either I wound up at a roadblock with the cops blocking 95, any access to I-95, or I would get on 76, and, you know, mentally, I'm in Philadelphia, I want to go west to I-81, I gotta get on 76 west to go to I-81, and I did that, and it was just absolute gridlock. It was not moving, and so I was wasting time as I would every couple of minutes, you know, I'd go on duty to save my drive clock, and then it would move forward, and it would move forward enough that I would trip my drive clock, and I had to keep going back and forth, and it just, I finally, and of course both Trucker Path and Google Maps were telling me, turn around, you got to go back the other direction, I-76 west is no good, don't go that way, you got to go down 95 south, which I knew to be roadblocked for some unexplained reason. And so I got off. I followed their advice and I got off of 76 West. And I, you know, they were telling me to go and then use these streets to turn around and go back the opposite direction. Well, I couldn't get onto those streets because they were like tiny little narrow one-way streets with cars on both sides. It was so I had no choice but to just keep going straight until I could find a major road that looked like it went in the right direction. Completely blind, because my GPSs were lying to me. I was able to zoom out on the maps in both Google Maps and Trucker Path and find streets that looked like they were going to be wide enough. Of course, they just looked like it. I couldn't tell for certain from the maps, so I just had to get there. Unfortunately, I was able to find my way back to the interstate and eventually on to 76. No, we never got on to 76 East, I don't think. We finally found our way on to 95 South. And of course we had traffic on 95 South. We had traffic getting on to the interstates, and I just completely snapped. I hope it makes good YouTube. I'm going to include it. I'm halfway tempted to just cut it out and just put it behind me and not ever mention that it ever happened. But you know, this vlog is about what it's like to drive a truck, and sometimes you get into these situations where you're pressed for time. You're just don't know what to do, you don't know how to get out of it, and you're just doing everything you possibly can to get out of it, and you're bumping up against your clock. And I was bumping up against my clock. 3 minutes of drive time left, and we found this parking spot, and it's the Delaware Welcome Center. It's basically a rest area. I'm gonna go in. I think that they have food here. I sure hope to God that they have food here, because I'm starving. It is almost 5 p.m. We've been going since midnight last night, so that's what, 17 straight hours we've been at it. Obviously you know, you can't legally go 17 straight hours because you've got a 14-hour shift clock. We were bumping up against the shift clock. We only had 36 minutes left on the shift clock, using the split sleeper rule, which I'm going to have to get into the sleeper tonight, but at least I'll be able to get my 10 hours of rest. Now, I don't know if we're going to go 95 south through DC and all that nonsense, or if we're going to cut west and go, you know, over to 81. I don't think it makes any sense to go over to 81 anymore. I can get going at 3 a.m. and we should be able to make it through DC before it gets bad. I don't know how far that is. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at the map while I'm eating to decide whether or not I want to go over to 81 or whether or not I want to stay on 95. If it's not too much of a difference, I'll go over to 81. That's what I've got dialed in right now. So if it turns out to be more or less the same, I'll do that. But man alive, this is gonna be the focus of this video, because I can't imagine anything worse or more exciting happening between here and Tifton. Where the heck are we going now? I know we're going back to Georgia. Tucker, to deliver this load. Especially if we get over to 81, it should be clear sailing. Maybe a little bit of construction traffic, but nothing like what we just went through. Was hoping to get to a pilot tonight so I could take a shower. I need one. I'm sweaty. I stink. I haven't had a shower. I don't remember the last time. I think it was Sunday. Yeah. No. Where did we stop Sunday? Did we? Yeah, we stopped in Tom's Brook. No, that was Saturday. Where did we stop on Sunday? I think it was a rest area. Yeah, I don't think I've had a shower since Saturday night. And it's Tuesday. Oh man, what a day. Okay, good night, y'all. My friends, I come to you a broken man this morning. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, has ruined me. Oh man, I tell you, I have driven in a lot of difficult places, and to be perfectly honest with you, driving around Philly yesterday wasn't overly complicated, but I don't know, maybe the combined stress of being tired from the early morning, and I mean early morning, the stress of needing to get out before my clock ran out, of being denied at every chance to get on the highway going in the direction I needed to be going, of having my GPSs both completely useless to me, and even the old school navigational techniques being completely useless to me. I literally just wanted to curl up into a fetal position, suck my thumb, and cry by the end of yesterday. And even today, I am still traumatized. It's pushing 5 o'clock now. I've been awake since 3:30. We've been legal to run now for an hour and a half, and I just cannot motivate myself to get behind the wheel this morning. I've procrastinated to the point where I have nothing left to procrastinate with except for recording this video. And so once I finish this video, I'm gonna have to, get pre-tripping and get underway. Unfortunately, and this is probably part of the reason I am now procrastinating and not wanting to go anywhere, we did not make enough progress yesterday to be able to complete our load today. We were scheduled for delivery. For the first time in a long time, we've actually had an open delivery window anytime today up until 10 p.m. We're not going to make that, because any way you shake it, I've got around 750 miles that have to be driven today, and we're not going to be able to do that. It's theoretically possible going on a coast-to-coast run where you're going across the desert and the speed limits are 70, 75, 80. It is theoretically possible to do 750, even 770 miles. And I've done 750 under those conditions in one of these trucks. But whether or not I choose to go through DC, and at this point I'm not going to go through DC, I'm going to cut over to I-81 and go south. Or if I go 81 south, I'm going to be up against 65 mile an hour speed limits. I'm going to be up against traffic, probably either way. Less traffic on 81 than if I went through the DC Metro, obviously. I'm going to be up against a very heavy paper load. We're carrying, it's not as heavy as the load we brought into the area yesterday, but it is a heavy load, 39,000 something pounds, I think, paper rolls. I haven't even scaled it yet. I don't know what our true weight is, but it's not going to be a light load. But so we're not, if we take 81, we're going to be battling hills. It's just not doable. I can't get 750 miles today, any way you slice it. So we are going to deliver a day late. Well, I doubt it'll be a huge issue, but it's still, if we could have made it 50 miles further yesterday, and we could have, if Philly had not held us hostage. The city of brotherly love did not show us love yesterday. We could have made it, and we could have made it today, but I have no desire to drive today. I have no desire to do anything but sit on my bed and stare out the window. I've had days like that. I've had, on a very rare occasion, anxiety, panic attacks, basically, about starting a day, knowing that what was coming for me was just unpleasant. And really, to be honest, the unpleasant is behind us. But I just don't want to drive today. I have absolutely no desire to drive today. But I'm going to, because the feeling of obligation outweighs the feeling of dread, fortunately. yeah, let's get going. It's just going to be a long day of driving. Hopefully it'll be a nice day. I haven't looked at the weather maps. I haven't looked at anything like that, but I'm just crossing my fingers that we have a better day today than we had yesterday. I'm wearing my comfiest clothes. I changed into a clean shirt. I changed into clean jeans, clean underwear, my comfy socks. I'm going to wear my comfy shoes just so that I feel a little bit better. And I am going to stop somewhere and take a shower, which I badly need. And then maybe I'll feel better. Maybe. We'll see. Well, I was just reminded that it could be worse. I was walking back from the store getting my supplies for the morning. Another truck driver came up to me. He's like, "I don't suppose you're a truck driver?" And I said, "Yeah. What's up?" And he said, "Well, do you happen to have a Slim Jim? I locked myself out of my truck." Apparently he left his truck doing a regen, and when he got out, force of habit, locked that door. Fortunately, I have trained myself not to lock the door with the button and to use the key to lock the door. That way I know I have the key in hand when I get out of the truck. But yeah, I hate it for him. I walked back to his truck with him, tried to give him, because he's got a Cascadia too, and trying to unlock it with my key. Because interesting little fact, if you happen to be driving a Freightliner Cascadia, they've only got a certain number of key combinations that they use, and so I have seen it happen where a key that one driver has worked on another driver's truck. And unfortunately it didn't work out for him, so he's stuck waiting until he can figure out how to get out of this mess. Unfortunately, we're not at a truck stop, so it's not like he can go into the store and buy a Slim Jim or anything like that. So he's probably going to be stuck here, waiting until his company can send him a locksmith. So his day has started off worse than mine did. We're just going to be driving today, and I'm going to take it easy. Like I said before, I'm going to stop somewhere and get a shower because I really need one. I'm going to have to send my dispatcher a note and say, "Hey, look, it's not possible to get to Tucker today." So I'll drop in the morning and come back to the yard, or go wherever it is that he needs me to go next. Tucker's pretty close to home, but I don't need to stop. I don't need to reset yet. So is what it is. That's where we're at. It's time to get rolling.
Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. Your life you've tried to be a good man inside. Did everything that you thought you should. Did it seem to do you any good? I know you've tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm feeling so much better this morning than I was yesterday morning. I'm even feeling better this morning than I was last night when I shut down for the evening. We stopped in Hickory, North Carolina, just off of I-40 on 321. Got a good night's sleep. I didn't even bother to get out of the truck and go inside before I went to bed. Just kind of shut down, closed the curtains, got in bed, and started sleeping. And I slept all night. Woke up this morning about, well, I set my alarm for 2:30, but I hit the snooze button a bunch of times. Wound up getting out of bed about 3 a.m. A little after, actually probably closer to about 3:15.
Slow down. Company speed limit exceeded.
Thank you. I know. We're doing 70. We're not speeding. But got out of bed just about the time that we needed to start our shift. So I got like a full 10 hours of sleep last night. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe 9.5. But I slept the whole time. So I'm feeling good and rested this morning. We have been driving non-stop all the way through the remainder of North Carolina and all of South Carolina. We're in Georgia now, just crossed the border a few minutes back. I was just waiting for there to be enough sunlight so that I could actually film and it would actually be visible. So we are currently about 78 miles from our final destination in Tucker, Georgia. We'll be there in about an hour and 20 minutes at 8 a.m. Which is, I believe, when they open. Our dispatch information actually had us with an open window anytime from 8 a.m. to 2200 yesterday. So I'm assuming that's what their hours are, and they're just kind of a first come first served basis. I did get a response back from my dispatcher after letting him know that there was no way we could reach Tucker yesterday because of our delays getting out of Philly. Oh man, I don't wonder what the coop is doing. Let's get in line for the coop here. We got a little four-wheeler who's oblivious. Come on, four-wheeler, let me in. There you go. That's a good boy. Anyways, what was I saying? Let's let this state trooper go by as well, unmarked, but you can tell because of the antennas. Where was I? I don't remember where I was. Oh, I heard back from my dispatcher. I let him know early on that we were not going to be able to make it yesterday. And his response was, okay. He didn't say anything else. I guess he probably already knew. But I let him know anyways. And so now, since that window was 8 to 2200, I'm assuming that that's just their hours of operation, and so we should be there right when they open this morning. It has been a smooth run. Have not run into any well, let me rephrase that. We ran into some pretty significant traffic because, unfortunately, because we couldn't go west on 76 out of Philly over to I-81, we had to come down south and cut across, I think it was on I-60, which was basically, we got into DC or into Baltimore in the DC metro. I just consider that whole Baltimore area to be part of DC and the DC metro. And we got in there right at rush hour. So we sat in a lot of traffic yesterday morning going through that area. We get the bypass, we got the bypass. And but beyond that, once we got out of that, we saw no more traffic the rest of the day. It was a great day, beautiful day for driving. And we got to Hickory last night with about an hour left on the clock, and shut down just after 5 o'clock, about 5:30. So it was a good day yesterday. Once we got away from DC, once we got off of 95, basically, you know, that's why I hate driving 95. Although it's my own fault because I did kind of sleep in yesterday morning, and I did leave out late. I hadn't done the math to figure out when we'd be arriving in the DC area, and I just, you know, dilly-dallied around just long enough for us to get to DC right at rush hour. Oh well, it is what it is. We might have gotten a little bit further last night. We might have gotten as far as South Carolina, but we wouldn't have made it all the way. There was no way we were going to make it all the way, so I just didn't stress over it. I took a nice leisurely approach to it. I didn't even get bothered by the fact that we were sitting in traffic for a couple of hours. We're getting here as on time as we could have been getting here on time. And that's all there is to it. That's all that matters. So I'll see you guys when we get to our destination.
After half a mile, you will reach your destination. The destination will be on your right.
Go get checked in. Alright, we're checked in, about to get docked. Should be a fairly easy one. truck doesn't want to. There we go. Let's get this tandem slid. Place is a little bit different, not entirely, in their procedures, in that I can't wait in the truck. We've been to a few places like this. I gotta take the airline, unhook the red airline. We've been to a bunch of places like that, but I also got to put the landing gear down. I don't actually have to disconnect, I just have to put the gear down. Which, individually, we've been to all kinds of those places. All combined, I think this is a first. So I will go ahead and end the video here. If you enjoyed it, thanks. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to move over a little bit further to the right. There's more room on the right. Feel free to leave a comment down below. I do try and answer them. I've been a little bit slow in answering lately, but whenever I get a free time, I do go through them. There's just been a lot more comments lately. I haven't been able to keep up with it as much. But I do go through them periodically and answer as many of them as I can. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.